We went from 12 million to 30 million, and we did like barely more profit, not barely,
Yeah.
some definitely more, but like dollar to dollar on profit was like this. Margin
Yeah.
was like this.
Yeah.
We went from 12 and did good healthy margin. We
Yeah.
did 30 and like profit margin, like percentage, terrible, but like more dollars technically. But like,
Yeah.
why did we go 3 times the size to make a little bit more money?
Yeah.
And it's like, why? And it's because we didn't manage it, because we had all these crazy expectations, because of vanity metrics, because we scaled the team, because acquisition broke, but we wanted to fill calendars still.
Yeah. All right, welcome. We got another one lined up today. We got the wonderful Ryan Clogg. That's how you say your name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 G's.
Awesome. Two G's makes a lot of sense, my friend. So Ryan is bros with Tyler, and Tyler is supposed to be here, but Tyler is not here because, like I've mentioned, Tyler is a busy man, and he doesn't really show up on time half the time. So he might show up, he might not, I don't know, but he has been summoned to come here, and hopefully he joins us at some point.
It's fair.
Ryan, random question for you, man. And like, sorry if this isn't you, but was it you that took us to some random nightclub in San Diego that's like after hours bar one time?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that's the first time I met you.
That was, yeah, and that's like my memory of you is just like
Yeah,
this
yeah,
young
yeah.
guy, and I was like, I don't know who the fuck this kid is, and or why we're all following this dude.
Yeah, no, that
But
was probably, yeah, that's a funny story. That whole day, or that whole experience. That was, so at that time, I was probably 21, maybe,
yeah,
probably. And
yeah,
I had just gotten to Arizona and I was moving out of there. And I was like, whatever event I was going to, some affiliate thing that was like a 0 to 10K, learn how to do XYZ, either, I think it was Facebook at the time, classic, like click
yeah,
bank traffic style thing. And so again, in my ever journey to just buy every course and learn everything in that world, I
yeah,
bought that, went to the event that came with the ticket, or that like basically came with it. And
yeah,
you guys were in the lobby bar, and we were supposed to be up at this like networking event style thing that was like part of the event. And we're like, oh, this kind of sucks. So we went down to the lobby bar, look over, and I see some nice watches and some other stuff. And I'm having a good time. So I just walk over, just start talking to you
yeah,
guys. And then it's like, oh, yeah, this guy does my email. This guy does my Meta, at the time, my
mhm,
Facebook. And
yeah.
next thing you know, you took me to my first bottle service at whatever that
Oh
was,
yeah,
Omnia. From Omnia, we were at some
I forgot about that
dark
nightclub.
upstairs. Yeah. And then we went somewhere
Yeah.
else after that I somehow led us to. And yeah.
Dude, yeah, I remember it was Brian Higgins, Todd Lamb, and that's the
Yes.
first time I met Chris Reeder as well.
Yeah. 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 Because
Just
Chris
like a
was like
whole,
on stage at that kind of stuff. And I literally was like, just bought a ticket and was at it. Or did a course that came with the ticket.
yeah. I don't even know we weren't even supposed to be there for anything. I think just like Brian Higgins was like, "Hey, do you want to come to San Diego and like go to some event?" And I was like, "Well, I
Yeah.
don't actually want to go to the event." And he's like, "Just come hang out." And so we did.
You're like, I'm
It
in.
was a great time, but
Yeah.
that's funny, man. Yeah. And then I
Yeah.
remember you're like, you wanted a job with us, and I was like, I don't know who the fuck this kid is. I don't know
No,
what
well,
he does. Like,
it was Brendan, I believe, is with you guys too at the time.
yeah,
And
Brendan
Brendan
McCartney,
was
yeah.
like, did we just get your new teammate? Did we just get a new teammate? And we're like in the middle of the club. I can't hear anyone. I'm like, for what? And he's like, all right, so they fund they like finance all the buying. You do the buying, you get a percent. I'm like, all right, let's ride. Like I have no idea what's going on.
Hilarious.
At the time, I'm doing that randomly, spending like $1,000 a day trying to make it work, making
Yeah.
like, anywhere from 6 to 10%.
Yeah.
Tried, and I'm just scaling into it. And then
Yeah.
I am doing page builds for the info business at that time. Yeah, the same company that then now we've scaled. I was doing like random page builds for like $1,000 every like 6 weeks.
Interesting. So
Yeah,
times have changed based on the
times have
product and
changed. Yes,
all.
slightly.
Yeah, dude, that's cool. So like before that, how do you kind of get into this space?
Yeah, I went to ASU for a semester of school, lived there for
Yeah.
a year in my dorm, and then
Yeah.
tried to do some like private equity finance thing where I knew a guy that was out in California that was about our age. So like, he was 20, I was 18. We were just young and dumb. And he had a private equity background, or his dad was in it, so he was in it, and basically ended up trying to get us into like doing a roll up with this alternative fitness location, like physical business, like a franchise. We did that for a year. I moved out to the California. We were like this close to getting it done. It was like this 50 something million dollar transaction, like total enterprise, had 12 million in EBITDA. Like I had no idea what was going on. I have a TV on my wall that I have my laptop plugged into, that I am like combining financials from 12 locations, and like I'm doing, like we were out of our zone. Like it was just
Yeah.
dumb. And whole thing comes crashing down. Couldn't close it in the final hour. Like bunch of financial stuff, and all went to zero. And then I was like,
Yeah.
what do I do? And I bought my first course. So I bought
Interesting.
somebody's $497 like Instagram shout out, learn how to basically pay for shout outs, create a lander on whatever we are using at the time, use Aweber, and have the thank you page of the opt-in going just directly redirect to a ClickBank link, with the idea of like self liquidation. Like that was the model. It was pay for a shout out, make a graphic, set up your Aweber, and then try and liquidate with a ClickBank offer, and then mail your list and make $1 per lead per month. Like that was the math.
Did it work?
It worked. I broke even. I self liquidated. I did all that. The biggest thing of me, I couldn't afford the Aweber bill at the time.
Oh,
And I wasn't making money on the list because one, I wasn't good at copywriting. Two, I didn't want to do it. So like there was no fuel behind of like wanting to like pretend. I did it in women's fitness, which is also funny, you know. But so I did it in women's fitness, and I didn't want to like pretend to be someone. I didn't have the money to finance or pay for a copywriter, nor did I have the deal understanding or skill that I could just pay someone a percentage of the rev. You know, like I didn't know that stuff at the time. So yeah, ended up just like closing down the Aweber, exporting the CSV, dropping it in my Dropbox, and like to this day I have 28,000 or something emails that just sit there on a list that I just keep for memory's sake. But yeah, that was like the start of it, and then the classic drop ship this, affiliate that, try this, you know, do some numbers, but like in the end always come out with, you know, 5 or 10 grand. Nothing ever popped, and then yeah, and then started doing page builds in the ClickFunnels world.
Interesting. You also did a little bit of lead gen, right? Like as well, like, cause like we got connected through you for some lead gen stuff that we ran for a bit. That was pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
So you still do a little bit of lead gen as well, or is it mostly just this e-com stuff now?
Yeah,
Or
well,
sort of
so
digital stuff.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just call it info coaching. It's like I call it info coaching. There's like physical product, there's affiliate lead gen, and there's like SaaS. It's like it's kind of how I look at it. There's probably 90 more, but yeah. So the main stuff is the info coaching, and then I always just tinker. So I'll buy courses in lead gen. Like I bought your course, like the original launch for it. That's how I got into there. Affiliate stuff, whatever. So for the lead gen stuff specific, I lived in Puerto Rico for the last 3 years, and though like one main friend that I'd hang out with down there is a really big in lead gen, R1, right? The other Ryan. So he crushes him, and then his business partner who lives in Chicago. So I would hang out with those guys, and they needed tech stuff, and I would just help them with that. So I was doing like posts and all the tech stuff behind for Red Track, Ringba, like the different buyers had different like all of that system behind it. And then at certain times, they literally got up to the point where it was like, we have all the assets, we have all the we have everything. We literally just need more eyes on ad accounts. And I'd be like, okay. So like for them, I spent like, I don't know, 25 G's a day for a while, just like on an account, you know, through whatever proxy set up. And I would just like manage that. But I've never from zero built anything up in lead gen or affiliate past like 2 or 3 grand a day. It's always exploded at 2 or 3 grand a day too. So it's like, for me. And again, I've never like done it enough, like well enough or long enough or whatever. Like obviously it could pop out the other end, but I've never stayed with it long enough.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I mean, like regardless though, that skill set of like being able to set up a Ringba and all that stuff is huge asset, man. I feel like nobody really in this space is like that pro at it, and most guys that are trying to figure it out struggle and end up just like hiring tech. So like that in itself is so valuable.
Yeah, and that's what these guys were like always say. They're like, yeah, we have these developers, and you can get like such cheap developers that can really get the technical side, but don't understand what you're trying to accomplish, like in business or like normal to speak. So it's like if you can't do the bridge. So I feel like I just am pretty good at being able to like bridge the gap, because I understand what, you know, company owner, business, you know, media buyer is saying, and then I understand what actually needs to happen in the tech. I almost get to the point where I can't go as technical on some stuff, and I can talk to the developer. Like that's kind of like the sweet spot where it's like, I need this written, and I don't know how to code, but like I know this needs to go here, this needs to split this needs to go like this, and like, and I know if it works or doesn't work. So I don't know. I mean, it's an odd skill.
Have you like started to use AI for managing some of the tech side of things, or you just
Yeah. So in the info stuff, we were talking about this the other day. We have not fully replaced anything.
Okay.
which is interesting. So like you hear a lot of people are like fully replacing or like, oh, we're gonna decrease our staff by 30%, stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
we haven't gotten there at all. The only thing we have done is like increase efficiency. It's almost like either add or like slightly cut back what someone may be doing. So like a portion of
Yeah.
someone's role. So like two of the main examples we have that we use in the info coaching. So it's all sales team. So everything is collected. We're now doing low ticket, but for the last 70 million, it's been all over the phone sales or Zoom.
Yeah.
So for that, we have essentially the funnel is like a normal VSL funnel. The last one, again, now we have like 3 running, but the main one is like opt in, watch a VSL after X amount of time. It is apply, book a call, get on the phone, buy. Right. So like that app is where we get the phone number for the first time between app and booking, and 50% of the people that apply book a call. So in that range, let's say you're getting
huge range. Is that a huge percent of booking?
it depends. It depends. Like some people will put the call inside the form and it's like, oh, we get 100%. And it's like, well, yeah, obviously you get 100%, but like, do you get the same throughput of apps that you would like, is the blended amount the same, right? Is the kind of the question. Same thing with ops. It's like, if you just send them straight to an app, which tons of people do. And like, we almost think we're stupid now. Like we've had our mindset about run it with an op, do all this stuff. And like the joke is right now, like money, Twitter and whatever, it's like, if you run an op, do you hate money? It's like, maybe, because you're just gating 80% of your traffic, 95, depending what you're optimizing for on Facebook, like all those things. But so that drop off though, where we have the phone number, that's like prime time for setters. So people who just dial, reach out to those and do that. So we fully replaced that with AI for the last year. So we basically feed it in all the application question. There's like some tools out there, but they add up in costs, especially with the volume, because we'll do 200 of those a day, like new contact plus all the messaging. So we built our own in-house that's, basically built on OpenAI at some level, like going back and forth, keeps the thread, but it feeds in all the applications. So like, what did they try before? Age, what are their goals? What's the timeline? All these different things, feeds it into this bot, and then it can communicate with them over text, like as a person from the team to be like, hey, I see you tried this in the past and here are your goals. Like what else is stopping you from doing this? And then it can read our entire, we've scraped the whole site. We have like hundreds of resources, and it can be like, I think this piece will be most interesting to you. Pushes them to the site because they talked about, menopausal this, and it'll push them to the site about a menopause content. And then the site is built in a way that's like a content web that'll keep them in there.
Interesting.
So yeah.
That's really cool.
That's like the main one. And then they do like other sales stuff, but that's like the original one we launched.
So let's step back a little bit, man, because like I think we should kind of explain what you do now, as we kind of just talked about what you are currently doing. But can we sort of dive into that?
Yeah, absolutely. So around that same time as when I was like getting into internet world, I was buying every course you could imagine. I was like making money, working a job basically, and then trying to learn the online stuff. And again, I would do a Shopify thing and like pop 5K out of it, and then it would go to zero. I'd lose an ad account or at something. And like the tenacity to keep going in one single vertical was just not there. Like I just wasn't good at that. And I was never,
what up?
now we lose.
Put your headphones in.
I can see, no, I can't.
Anyway, what were you saying?
Anyway, yeah, no. So as I was trying to do that, I never directly stuck to one of them. So whether it was affiliate, I bought a course in here, whether it was e-com, I never bought this. And I ended up buying Sam Ovens, actually, OG. I bought his consulting.com. He had like the 3 offerings. It was like the accelerator, which was like learn how to be a consultant and get clients basically consistently. Then once you were getting too many clients that you couldn't fulfill on it, the next one was teaching you how to like productize your service, which was make a course and do group coaching. And the next was like become the category king. And I bought the middle one. That was like $5,000, 5,500, something like that. And I got into that group, instantly realized I didn't want to be the coach, consultant, face of anything, and did not have the wherewithal to realize like, oh, I could build this business around someone else. So I like Tyler, man.
This is why I do them solo, bro. They're just
hey,
like,
I feel it.
it's
I
smooth.
feel it.
It's smooth. It's smooth.
I feel it. And I didn't have like the wherewithal to realize that you could build this around somebody. And somebody posted in the group, I was like, oh, I recognize that guy from somewhere. And from like past when I was in high school and stuff, like he was in groups that I knew of. And I clicked on his Facebook profile from inside the community. And his last post like 3 minutes ago was like looking to teach someone everything I know about marketing, sales, and whatever, and like bring on a right hand. And I clicked on it. It was like book a call, get on the phone with him, co-founder of the info coaching biz. And he had done that. He had done exactly the model. So he basically had found an expert in the field in fitness, met her locally at a gym, and then built an entire course and program and stuff around her, and then did all the marketing sales, like built the entire company, and then she was product face, like marketing face and all that. So I was
Interesting.
like, yeah, what can I do? And he was like, yeah, we're running, XYZ ads. He's really good at the sales marketing, like paid side of it. So he was doing that. I came on and was doing like marketing and tech. And then as we began, so then I jumped into there, randomly building sales pages for them and like random tech stuff for like months. And we were doing a low ticket app, women's fitness app. It's like the classic, like download it, you get your, exercises, meals, stuff like that. $27 a month app and like an OTO, and got to like 30 grand a month, 100 grand a month randomly, I think at one point, but like breaking even. And then he was like, how do you want to scale this thing? I was like, let's do what we know. Like based on this course, like let's go and build a call funnel instead and sell like higher ticket over the phone. And then at some level, rest was history. It was like we sold an info product first over the phone, got up to basically, we got over $1 million a month on that from basically nothing in 8 months ish, up to $1 million a month. Then we were kind of stuck at $1 million a month. And then we moved over to high ticket coaching instead of info. So selling annual packages for women's fitness, one-to-one with a coach, built an entire coaching team. Now we have 70 coaches. We did 30 mil last year just through selling coaching.
Yeah.
And then, so
Cool. So you have 30 coaches.
70 coaches.
Oh, 70 coaches.
70
Wow.
coaches, 30 mil. Yeah.
30 mil. What's the high ticket cost on that?
It's a little over 7,000.
Oh, wow.
A year.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So, yeah. So the business model's
interesting.
changed a bunch throughout that, because like the initial thing we're selling was like a $497 product that was an info course. So fulfillment cost is basically zero. So the margin is solid. It's basically just ad and sales rep on your, and then because it's group coaching. So it's like, the one to many, the cost decreases as you go across for what you're paying for your coach or for your group coach. And then, as we moved into coaching one-to-one, there became the direct cost, but it also became a recurring thing because it's an annual subscription. So what's your retention numbers? What do you offer after that? What's the onboard? You can pay a higher CAC so you can scale until you scale too hard and then you break it. But
isn't that always the case? So
it definitely was the case.
So what do you think added to that major jump? And I understand that there's different components to it, but do you think it was the higher ticket really took you to the next level because there is a much more profit margin there, or or moving to phone sales, or the combo?
Because it's basically those 3 iterations, right? It's like selling it a low ticket, direct, just like literal ad sales page, 2-step, like that. Based on where the economics of it were, we didn't understand like ascension economics, nor did we have the offerings in order to get like an LTV CAC ratio that would make sense at that time. So then we just jumped to the middle product, which was $497 over the phone, which is like wild behavior, just crazy, because you're paying a sales rep, you're paying your ad costs, and like you're if you're getting $100 calls, like that makes no sense. And at that time we were getting way cheaper calls, but the margin was there. Within a month or two, we jumped to $997. And then soon thereafter jumped to $14.97, and then that's what we hit. That's what we hit $1 million a month with. So we're just doing volume, but it was lifetime access.
Oh, that's cool. Very cool.
You're muted, Tyler.
I muted him.
I muted him.
Well,
You guys hear me?
and it's echoey as shit.
Is it echoey for you?
Correct. That's what I said.
So that was the he's like, I have no headphones. What do I do with no headphones? So that was the kind of like first jump, and then sitting at $1 million, it was multiple things. It was sales management things that we were doing. We managed the sales team up to a certain point. Then we had one of the sales leads become the sales manager, and that's kind of like a no-no, which we didn't know at the time. So that exploded. Then we tried the sales agency world, which is really big in like info coaching space. There's all the sales agency guys. And some are fantastic. It just like wasn't working for us. And then 2 different sales agencies were like, you need an in-house manager. You just need somebody to fully manage it. So we hired a guy that's a rock star. That's our current manager. And he took us from 1 to 3 million. And then just actually as of recent, I literally posted yesterday a job posting. He wants to kind of venture into having his own offer and his own business and all that. So we are helping him transition to that. And he's obviously helping us then on the other end of like overlap, so we can bring in someone else who's has the experience of doing kind of bigger numbers. Because there's people in our space who have done, 10 to 20 million a month with sales team and like a low ticket front end. So we're looking for someone who has done that. I have, hundreds of DMs from that post that are people who are in the info coaching space, the sales agency, the sales management. A lot of people do 500, a million, couple million a month maybe, but there's a rare breed that does 10, 20, whatever number a month.
Wow. That's really cool, man. Um, without giving too much away so it sounds like you said that they built the offer around the fitness girl.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
In that like original arrangement, how is that sort of split up? And like, you don't have to give away what's going on currently,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm curious with
Yeah,
that.
I mean, she's the entire time. She's like full partner. She at parts led the sales team. She led the
Oh,
entire
got it.
coaching division. She built the
Yeah.
entire coaching division, the product. Like she is a superstar. She is like very much so lifeblood of this. Like you look at a lot
Very
of our
cool.
feedback and comments. It wasn't just like an influencer that we just like built it around in that way.
Got it.
She
Okay.
became an influencer through the business.
Got
So
it.
like she already had some following, and then like again, Rockstar, she has like all these like pro, she has all these recognition like inside the fitness space as an individual. And
Yeah.
then he met her locally. I'm pretty sure at the he helped her get localized local clients to be like personal training in person.
Yeah.
Then it moved into this higher ticket or info course. Then it went to the low ticket model and kind of bounced around. But she has been like tried and true this entire time. Like we always say, we're like she'll pump out ad scripts back to back to back to back. We have tested like tens of thousands of ads. She does all the VSLs, she does all the ads, and like
crazy.
just now within the last few months, we're making this transition to have multiple brand faces, like reduce founder risk. She has kind of like other interests too at this point, like where it's scaled to. I mean, it's been 5-6 years, right?
Yeah.
So like she has
That's a long
you
haul
know,
on a product.
it's a long haul.
That's a
yeah.
really, yeah, that's
It's a long
crazy
haul.
on a
Yeah.
product.
And
Yeah,
so
they
like
don't
as
last
we
that long
scaled,
usually.
no, right? Exactly. And like that's the joke when we go to this stuff is like, oh, you guys have turned in, you're like you're a real business, like, and not just like an offer. You're like a,
Yeah.
and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
we have an HR director, we have 110 people on the team, like we have like everyone W2, like it's legit, like it's no joke, which also has its costs and not good stuff.
Yeah.
So like our margins, like I'm the first to say, I started posting all this YouTube stuff and I'm like raw as can be. I'm like, it's not good what happened. Like our acquisition broke. We had to scale down. I posted a video, like we did 1.6 million last month. Like 1.6 million is not good when you have whatever 100 variable employee plus contractor.
Yeah.
Like that's not good.
No.
Right. But like we built up to scale to be at 3 million plus a month, and then acquisition broke and we were kind of like, oh, in the next 2 weeks we'll have calendars full. In the next 2 weeks we'll have calendars full. And like we couldn't fulfill on it in marketing because of a multitude of reasons. We had pixel issues, we had quality issues, we had volume issues, we had like everything you could imagine. And now that we solve for marketing, now it's sales. And it's just like always something, always something. So
Damn.
yeah.
So since you're bringing on different faces to start doing some of the VSLs and the ads
Yeah.
and so on and so forth, I'm assuming there's a plan to sell.
At some level, yeah, but not like nothing on radar. So
Yeah.
there's so much more in the tank, like between like capacity of team, like vision, ability, like market size is insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we did 30 and like nobody knows we are. There's people that do 100 and 100 and whatever that nobody knows. And it's
Yeah.
like, so there's just so much more room there. But yes, in general, both for just like lifestyle and like how we actually like our time and living, founder risk / like time you don't want in there.
Yeah.
And then also for an exit. So yeah, as much as we can like machine this because it's kind of the trade-off between like margin and time at some level, right? There's like some stuff where it's like if you stay in it doing it at your level of understanding, you're going to make more profit. But then if you hire somebody who has that skill or who can fully manage it, it's like a dive in that. So that's what we're like working on now is like the performance structuring of like a C level that can do that, reducing founder risk because the marketing co-founder like ran all the ads, did all this, did all that, and now we have a CMO. So like founder risk in that way is now out of it. And then her in brand face and product, she's completely out of product. We have someone who leads all the coaches and all the coaches direct with the clients. She has no direct clients anymore. She had them for like a while, just like dripping through, but got out of that. And then out of the marketing, or not necessarily out of the marketing, but one of the pieces of marketing.
Got it.
So we have multiple brand faces instead, and hit the buyer demo. I mean, our buyer demo is 40 to 60-year-old women, and she's in her early 30s. So it's worked for 70 million. It's worked, but like, is it we couldn't even tell you up until a month ago, is the click-through rate, the same? If it's like identical scripts, identical everything, but the person is in the buyer demo versus not, like, what's the difference? Like we couldn't even tell you that up until a couple months ago. So
I would imagine it changes. I mean, even for us, like when we're creating like short VSLs for lead gen ads, man. Like the face with the exact same script and delivery makes all the difference. You
Yeah.
know, like
Oh, 100%.
yeah,
Yeah.
it
Well,
changes
yeah.
everything
And the
for us.
biggest issue, or not even necessarily issue we're having, but like we always say like opportunity lift, like something's wrong. It's like, oh, it's an opportunity lift. It's like, oh, we just lit that on fire. It's an opportunity lift. But we basically, now that we're running those on the ad side, they're running
Yeah,
to like, there's like not continuity because they'll run to VSL that's then the original brand face.
yeah,
So it's like ads of all these other. So it's almost like it's not UGC though, but it's like kind of UGC, but it's like not
yeah,
UGC. It's like a certain brand face matches the demo, says what you want to hear, click through to it, and then it's training that's led and all this stuff by someone else.
yeah.
So like you kind of got to do that like pass off. So in some of the scripts we do now, and it's like you got to hear a training from, or like if it's a VSL or if it's an info, so stuff like that.
Interesting. Okay, so within the business, man, what exactly are you doing? Because I know you do a little bit of everything. But what's your main sort of like day to day? Are you running the advertising for it and creating the creatives and so on and so forth, or are you
Yeah.
just managing? What
Yeah.
is it
So
exactly?
yeah, 100%. So I like try and make this as like abundantly clear as possible. I was not the 0 to 1 part of this business. Like it existed
Yeah,
before me. I came on, built page. Like they already had found product market fit, had the name, had the brand, like came up with the
yeah,
concept of like stronger, harder, like, Mac, all that stuff. Right. So that existed. I came on and initially it was like marketing and tech kind of thing. And as it evolved and scaled out, she went into product and brand face. He went into stayed in marketing and sales, and I went into like tech and ops. So I
okay,
still have like full pulse on all marketing. Like I'm in the marketing meetings, like leading the IDS board on that kind of stuff. Talking like I have all the data, all the economics, all any of that kind of stuff, anything tracking, and that's kind of tech as well. And I still personally do all the marketing tech. So any of like the build outs and stuff, or like new launches or splits or anything, I do.
yeah,
Even though I have like a senior tech lead, he does basically the entire company's like automations, like everything in that world.
yeah,
But I still do all the marketing tech direct because it's the lifeblood of the business. Like the more and more we talk about it, it's like it's a direct response company heavily, and that kind of stuff is like real important. So now we have an operations team that's the leads of all of these departments. So like CMOs in there, sales directors in there, which is basically the closer manager, inbound setter manager, customer success, tech, all of those sit in a meeting. I facilitate those and quarterlies and all that kind of stuff, and like basically make sure we're all on track. We're talking about the important things. We're working on the important things, and then
yeah.
also technically on paper lead the entire tech. But like my senior tech lead basically does all tech now.
You sound very organized, my man.
A little bit organized. I'm not honestly like sometimes I look at stuff and I'm like, but yeah, I definitely lean in a organizational brain.
No, that's amazing, man. What's kind of your favorite part of it all? Like, what do you really like get excited about when you have to dig into it?
It's the problem solving scale. It's like, what's the bottleneck? What's the bottleneck? Like I start making all these
Yeah,
YouTube videos and people are just blowing me up and like, oh, we're stuck at this. I'm like, what's the bottleneck? And it's like,
yeah,
everything's a funnel. I always say it in all my stuff it's like, you can easily see whether it's a sales process, whether it is the marketing funnel, whether it's the fulfillment. Like right now, we're talking about this big like retention plan to roll out a back end to the back end program, and it's like
yeah,
they launched it. And I'm like, what are the stats? Like, who is eligible for retention?
yeah,
Like how many show up to the call? Okay, is there an error there? Why aren't people showing up? What's the framing? It's like once they show to the call, are they not converting? Is it the offer? Is it the skill? Is it the script? Is it what? Like once they're converting, once they're like all that kind of stuff. So solving for the bottleneck and like problem solving is the most fun. The worst thing in the world is having to do it over and over again though. Like anything that is recurring or like monotonous is like if I've solved it once is my worst nightmare. So that's why I love like we have 3 million zaps or something like that a month. Like we automate as much as humanly possible.
interesting. When you say you have to resolve it, do you mean at different sort of like revenue points? Is that what you mean, or just
I
stuff
mean, I've
really
like,
breaks?
yeah, I guess it's not necessarily resolve it, but it's like I already solved it once and now I just have to do it over and over again. So like there was a point in
Got it.
time when we were doing stuff with marketing where like a split, for example, we would roll out splits and we didn't have like I didn't have the understanding of data and like storage of data and like how to do that in a way that would make it so splits were like dynamically could happen. And we could
Yeah,
just launch one and like the data would auto store. So I was like resetting up all of this like infrastructure for tracking every single time we launched a split. And it almost like held a part of the business back because I was like so hesitant to launch new splits because it was annoying to me to have to do it. Like I was frustrated and I was like, I don't know, we could push this one a little bit harder. Or like we could get more data on it. Like that's not good, right? Like that's not
Yeah.
good if I'm holding it back. Or like we talk about it even now. An example of that right now is like, oh, we want to test like 3 different applications. And it's like, okay, sounds simple. It's just like 3 different pages, split them, 3 different applications. The back end of that is like 7 zaps per thing. We have custom stuff that fires into Facebook for different pixel stuff based on qualified or not qualified per app, and it's based on different variables. Where they get redirected is based on different variables. The storage into the CRM, the questions don't exist in the CRM, so you got like map fields, like blah blah blah. The techie shit of it is like so frustrating to me to have to like do over and over and over again. So I like to solve for it, but when it gets to that stuff and like having to do it over and over again, it's like my worst nightmare. Absolute worst nightmare.
I can understand that for sure, man. I think that I think like, at least for me, I'm more of a creative guy, but I'm still the guy that's like got to organize a lot of the tech side of things, even this is simple stuff, right?
Yeah.
But that I like, that's like gets pushed to the bottom of my list all the time. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Until
Well, I
have
like
to.
I see some of the stuff in like the group or whatever. Like I'll randomly, watch the call recordings. When you guys talk about like my biggest, which is probably not even an excuse anymore, but my biggest thing, like I'm not the copywriter or the messaging. So like when ChatGPT came out, that like saved my life because I can get 80% of the way there or like go live with something, and then a copywriter can come in after the fact and like clean it up. But like I have speed to whatever. That was the biggest hang up. Like, I bought one of Chris Reader's course and like when they were doing the YouTube thing, and the biggest thing is just like creative, and like iteration and like script. And it's like, that's not my speed. Not the messaging and like the creation from zero is not really. And then the making a video over and over and like testing this and testing that. And it was like that's just not really me. It's like once it's in there and I'm like, oh, where is it breaking and how are we doing this? And like, what can we iterate and how do we scale it up and like push this down, push this up? Like that's what I like more. So that's kind of like the fun
To be
part
honest,
of it.
that's almost like, it's almost a good thing that you don't like doing that though, because you found a solution now, especially with like all the different AIs there are out there that do create
that do
copy.
that.
And I think because of that, it would make you faster than the average person due to the technical knowledge that you have, because you don't really meet like a super technical copywriter half the time, it's like one or the other.
Yeah.
But I think that it's easier to diff around the creative side of things now that we have like ChatGPT and all this stuff versus the other way. Like I think you can solve a lot of issues on the technical front with AI now, but actually getting in there to like plug everything together is a little bit more challenging, I would imagine.
Yeah. It's I just have like this internal like fire that burns in me that's like I got to do 0 to 1 like a couple times, like or like at least once. Like I have to be able to do it. So like I joke that like a side quest in lead gen or affiliate, like that's why I keep my finger on the pulse. It's like on a weekend I want to like go off and just like rip some landers, do a giant thing and just like run them myself, because like I'm not in ads anymore at all. Like I don't buy for anything. I did Google for us for a long time, or for a while, our YouTube and Google, and like did it mediocre and like was not part of the creative process at all. Like literally was just clicking the buttons of it. And that was years ago, but like, I don't know. I have this passion, burning desire to like actually prove to myself that I can do that part as well as this part. But like, that's not the business strategic smart way to do it. It's like, if I have this skill and I have like all these people I'm surrounded with that have this skill, it's like meshes really well. And 1 + 1 = 5. And I'm over here just like, no, I'm like, I'm 0.8 and I need that 0.2. Like I just,
This dude, I have like this limiting belief, and then like I'm aware it's in there and all this stuff, but for me, like if I make a couple $1,000s a day, like with ads that I created and ran, versus like if my team makes 20 grand that day, it doesn't feel the same. It feels so much better when I personally do it. I feel like I've achieved something. And like,
it's totally, it's I feel you.
So, dude, I totally get where you're coming from. And honestly, man, like it's like 100% you can do it just based on your skill set that you already have. And my argument would be is I think that anyone can be a successful media buyer at some point. It depends how deep you want to go on it. But everyone who's talking about like how it's such like a skilled thing is like, I kind of call bullshit on that. It's more just like repetition, like anything. And then you sort of see what works. But then as we know with Meta, Facebook, all this stuff, there is no like, if I do this and this and this, I'll get this, right? It's like, I could do this 12 times and then I might get this. So realistically, it's just throwing shit at the wall and then replicating that shit
Yeah.
over and over again. You know?
Literally, yeah. We just popped on we're friends with a physical ecom brand that's like new-ish, whatever, 2 years old, and they're doing 8 figures a month now.
Yeah.
And with like basically one SKU, maybe some like, but they have like one hero and then like a
Yeah.
couple of their like small SKUs. And they popped us in, showing like triple weight, all this stuff. And like they are just so smart and so like in on product and like marketing versus like media buying. He kind of like kept making that like distinction. He was like, there's
Yeah.
media buying and then there's like marketing and like the how they get their UGC created, how the actual marketing of the brand and the page and like everything in the entire business is more so than just like how we click the buttons and like what the optimization of this and like how we're doing CBO versus ABO and like ASC versus this. Like he was so kind of like keen on that. And they have like one media buyer that's in there that's running for them that does very well for them. But like, yeah, he's just like, it's so much that. So I don't know. You hear that all the time. It's like you hear people who like have the secret media buying sauce that can squeeze out X. And then you hear the other people that are like, it's literally creative. It's like dropping anything and like you have good creative, you win.
It's funny, man, because like I often, because of like my role in this space, I guess I'm always trying to find like what's the sort of best combination to run ads. But then I meet people who are doing it completely opposite of how I'm doing it all the time, and they're having great success. So like at the end of the day, it really is just about creative.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you can grenade a campaign based on like how you sort of manage it, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if it's like ABO versus like campaign budget, like whatever, I don't think it makes a fucking difference. Just come up with better creatives, and Facebook will put it in front of the right audience and make it work for you, right?
Yeah. We have a tracker in our like weekly ops meeting that everyone brings to like, you know, what were refund count, what was escalations, how many new units, all that stuff. And then one of the numbers our CMO brings is how many new ads were created and how many new ads were tested, like week over week. And they're putting up numbers like they're constantly testing. Like it's, you know, it's a 25, it's a 40, it's like in that range where they just like creative director and editor are pumping them out from brand faces, collecting and then editing and then spitting them over to marketing. And then they just, so
that's all it is, right?
Yeah.
Just
like an
creating
iteration.
systems to get that shit cranked out, man. Okay, so question for you. After all this, like you've built this big company now, you're a part of something huge. You mentioned that you want to have sort of like a zero to hero sort of run on something, but what's sort of your like end game past this business?
Yeah, so I almost feel as if my like zero to hero is more so like this right now. So we took this from, you know, it's done 70 million in total cash collected. It was, you know, whatever quick number, but 10, 12, then 30 were kind of those, and then some years up again. So it's like 7 years in. And I was a little more of like a cog in the wheel, like definitely iteration stuff, but like as responsibility as well as like how, I don't want to say like how seriously I took it, but like kind of like how involved I was, it's just like an overarching good way to say it, has risen over 1 to 2 years, like how involved I am and not trying to do like a bunch of side stuff and not trying to also do this and this. And now we're in this place where last summer, so like Q3, Q4, acquisition exploded, restructure of all this stuff. I got like really involved. So like way leaned in on ops and like all these pieces. So I'm viewing like this next chapter of this as within the same company, but like really taking it, because right now we're doing like, you know, every other day we'll do 100K and then we'll do like 50K, 100K, 50, like there's no consistency around that. And the sales side of things, but marketing is now consistent. For the last month, we did like 50K average. So we did like 1.6 million, and like, that's not okay. Like that's not good numbers. So the real thing is like, we know 2 different businesses direct, 2 that are over 10 million and 1 that's like close to over 10 million a month that are running the same gambit, that are running low ticket plus DTA plus VSL funnels in that range ish, running them through info to coaching. So generally it's like a low ticket or a direct to cart more so. Some people are low ticket products. Some are like a 1 to 2K product, sell a high ticket coaching on the back, have some bigger LTV play that continues and some recurring, and get that thing up to 100 million a year. And it's like, we can run that playbook. And like, we're in fitness, so we also have the ability to have physical product / supplement. Like there is a game for that, but we haven't done that because of our volume. So there's like all these plays that is the next chapter, is that within this business. Like you said, there is a potential for an exit. Sure. Like, is there a software play within it once we get to scale? Is it an MRR play with both community, like recurring and or supplement? Like there's a bunch of different lanes we could take this. Right now it's like, let's get the info coaching part up to at least 5 million a month, like at least to that range.
Yeah.
And then once we're sitting in there, it's like, now let's determine, is it physical? It's women only. Like, is it male? Like, I'm not a huge belief in like doing that, in my opinion. Like, it just doesn't feel like the market's so big. And like, you can go so much deeper to be like, oh, we do 3 million a month. It's like, let's roll out men so we can do another 500 to 1 million a month. It's like, or you could just do 10 million a month with women,
Yeah.
you know? So
The
yeah,
market's
that's
huge.
the market's huge, like huge. Like there's not a person that knows our name, like, and like not a single one.
No.
We have 10,000 something customers that have bought the high ticket coaching and 25,000 in total customers that were like a mix of low and the info at the time, or technically a little bit higher than that, but like it is peanuts in comparison to how big that market is. And they have the money to do it. And we have a product that solves, we have 500, you know, we're 4.9 out of 5 on Trustpilot with 500 reviews. Like the page is flooded with testimonial videos. The Facebook group every day is like, boom, boom, boom. Like it's right there. It's primed. So it's like, let's get that to there. An exit would be cool, but like not even on the radar, because it's like everything. I mean, business fundamental 101 is it's not making money right now because of the size. So it's like at one point it basically breaks even at that size. So it's like we need to get it back to 2 to 3 to be in like, you know, good profit zone, and then everything from there basically will just scale within. So yeah, that's the next step, is doing that. And then after that, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's there's gonna be a lot of skill development in there. I've learned everything from within the business or buying courses or breaking stuff or whatever. And like, I'm going to break 92 more things, and I don't know, figure out where it takes me. Try and do it with like no ego in public a little. I'm trying to like do that on YouTube right now. I'm sharing like, we made, you know, we lost 30 grand yesterday because we spent 30 and we made 10, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, we're not doing good right now. Here's how we broke our sales team. Here's how our funnel, you know, I turned off an automation on accident. We lost 70 grand. Like, I'm just doing all of that. And then like, here's what we're doing now. It's working. Like our low ticket is backing out, has the best CPA of anything we've ever run ever. And we never tested it until 6 years in. It's like, so that's kind of the goal.
That's cool that you're transparent though, man. Because I feel like so many people that do the online stuff, they only want to show the highlight reel.
I know,
but like that ain't real.
Dude, I
like,
just like, I just like literally like don't have it in me to do it. Like to not like, I would feel, I don't know. It's like if I popped a screenshot that was like I literally say in the videos, I'm like, we went from 12 million to 30 million, and we did like barely more profit, not barely, some definitely more, but like dollar to dollar on profit was like this. Margin was like this. Like we went from 12 and did good, healthy margin. We did 30 and like profit margin, like percentage, terrible, but like more dollars technically. But like, why did we go 3 times the size to make a little bit more money?
Yeah.
And it's like, why? And it's because we didn't manage it, because we had all these crazy expectations, because of vanity metrics, because we scaled the team, because acquisition broke, but we wanted to fill calendars still. So instead of a $100 call, it's a $300 or whatever. Like, and we just let it happen and just watched it live. And it's like,
more
and people
headache,
things
less
and
money.
this, and like just stuff we learn. And it's like, whatever, it was our first time doing that much revenue or cash collected. It was the first time doing that. And it was the first time having over 100 team members. And it was the first time doing that. And like, you could have read it in a book and someone would have told you that, but like, guess what? We did it real time, and like, we felt the pain, and now it's like, hopefully we learned a portion of it, and we'll learn something else on the next come up or down. Like we're learning on the down right now. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how someone could share a screenshot and just be like, yeah, we did. Like, I don't know how, I don't know. I just like don't have that in me. Like I did kind of like a version of the ego-y party thing, this and that. And like, I did it, and like, I try and avoid it like the plague now, because like, it's just like like it's, I don't know, like I'm embarrassed of self because of it. Like I've made my however many's and literally lit them on fire multiple times between the partying and the ego stuff and the this and that. And like, I look back on it and I'm like, I'm glad I did it because it's over and now I have a view on it. But like, wow, was it just stupid? And like the Lambo and the this and the that. And like, I love cars and like watches and stuff. And like, I don't post them anymore, like, because it's not in my lane. Like you share your stuff and it's like, I'm like cool. And like, you have so much interest in it. Or like a Jason shares his stuff and they have like so much interest in it. Like I don't have an interest in it like that. Like if I was posting it, it would be strictly for like, check out my shit. Not like, like, oh, like, you know, it's not part of my like lifestyle. So I don't know. It's just like, it's just one of those things, right? I just, I don't know.
Dude, it's tough. Like even on that front, and sometimes I feel like a D-bag, but I was like, I think there's a fine line of like people knowing if you're like truly into what you're doing, or if you're just like, hey, flex my shit, you know?
Yes. And like, that's what I literally just said. Like I have like I feel like I can have like relative level of a radar for that. And like, I can tell with you,
Yeah.
I can tell with like, Jason is like funny about his stuff
Yeah.
on Twitter and whatever.
Yeah.
Like his is funny, but like he cares about that stuff more than anybody ever. Right. Like he
Yeah.
cares about cars in that way. And like his
Yeah.
background, which he doesn't share much, is like all in that. And it's like, okay. But then you got the kid that
Yeah.
posts it and then is like, oh, and also like DM me for this and this. And it's like,
Yeah.
there's just a different vibe, and it's always my marketing expense. And like, I don't know. I mean, again, respect to people who do it, respect to people who use it. Like, everyone can play their own game, but yeah, we chase vanity metrics in a different way, in like a business way, and I just got burned. Like, we just didn't make more money and just worked 3 times as much. It's like when we did, but yeah.
Dude,
So-
you got to do it though, right? Like, I think it's cool.
Yes.
I think
Exactly.
it's cool to try, right? And it's cool to break stuff because, like, what if you actually scaled the shit out of it and it held profit, right? You have to try that.
Yeah.
You know?
All of a sudden, we just dropped like 8 figures to the bottom line on our first try. Like, that would have been dope. And we didn't do
Right?
that. Like, we
Yeah.
didn't do it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Now we're going to just try and rip this thing to, 10 a month.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's going to spit out of there? If we do it right,
Yeah.
you do these businesses right, and it's 30% all day. It's like, we're doing $3 million profit a month. Like, all of a sudden, like, yeah, that'd be nice. And because we, burned it on the last learning curve, like, I'm here for that. Like, that's a good learning curve adjustment, and finding the right people and understanding that. And like, we hire, like, the entire company was built off people that their every record month was in the company. Like, this is our first
that's
time ever
amazing.
doing these like, like, it's all of us doing it together, which is like fun and cool, and like the come up. But like, nobody knows what happens next.
Yeah.
Nobody has run the gambit. Nobody has the experience of like, oh, here's what happens when you get to 100 people, or 5 million in rev, or this many pay plans at the same time, or like any of that stuff, or the financial side. Like, nobody knows if they've never done it.
Yeah.
So it's like, now we have a sales manager who's done better. We have a CMO that's done bigger numbers. We have like an outbound director that's done bigger numbers, that we actually hired in because we have the like clout of being the big company. Now we can attract talent, and then the talent comes in that has actually done it before, and it's like, oh, so like there's a bit of like a flywheel effect.
So maybe the vanity metrics weren't so bad, bro.
I mean, yeah, they were for profit. Yeah, they were for dollars, but they were for,
That's funny, man. All right, give us the breakdown of your YouTube stuff, what you're doing with that. Where can people find you for all that? Because I think you're doing some pretty cool shit. I was talking to Jason K about it a little bit. And yeah, give me the rundown.
Yeah. So I basically it's something I've been putting off for a very long time. I have wanted to do it, and I just have been like scared of doing it. And then basically big life changes like a year ago. I got out of PR, I got all these things, like started to rebuild and like actually feel like good and like a base, and like dropped the ego stuff, dropped the this and that, like the whatever, the lifestyle and like this facade that I was putting off. And I just had this big fear of like being public. So I decided to like come out of the cave, but do it in like a real, transparent, whatever, like actual way. And just was like, I'm gonna do a YouTube video a day. So I just started making a YouTube video every single day. That was like, here's the evolution of our website from 0 to 30 million. Here are different offer stack and how we scaled. Here's how we did sales team. Here's how we track data. And just like everything I talk about, like the tech, the ops, the numbers, the like systems behind marketing, not like creative, but like the systems behind it and the economics. And yeah, just started posting a video a day, every day. And then like 33 days in or something, I had like 300 subscribers. And I was like, I am jazzed, because all these people are in my DMs and run companies that do $1 million a month or 500 a month or 2 million a month, all of them.
Yeah.
Like, because it's the only people that were attracted to the type of content. So I was like, cool.
Dude, you have 300 subs? Or
I was like,
3,000?
oh, I had 300 subs. And then somebody was in my DMs, and like people are asking like pay for consulting and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I don't have a model for that. I don't want to. Like, I'm just down to help. The whole goal of me doing the content is I have no friends that do this. Like, I don't have a network of people that I like hang out with and talk to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you and I like will randomly message or like be in these groups, but like that's about it. And that's about the depth of my relationships with like everybody that does online like business work.
But also what you do is so like foreign to me. Like,
I know. Well, like that's what I meant by like affiliate lead gen, like SaaS info. But like I have nobody even in like info and coaching world that I'm close with.
Yeah.
So like my zone, I don't even have that. So I was like, this kind of sucks. And I like moved back to where I'm from, like originally after Puerto Rico. And I'm like trying to talk to people about it, and like it just isn't landing. I'm like, I need friends, I need a network. So I started making these, and I'm like, I'll just do these for free. And I was messaging with some kid back and forth that was asking questions, and all of a sudden he hits me. He's like, I'm about to put you on. And I'm like, what? And my stuff just goes, I'm like, what happened? And he tweeted like a video of me breaking everything down. And that thing got like 80,000 on X impressions. Then I got like 2,000 subs like in 12 hours. And then, which is, you know, again, big numbers for what I'm trying to do in this little space. Like I'm not out here trying to teach the beginners 0 to 10K stuff and have 10, 20, 50, 100,000 people. It's like a honeypot. So yeah, so just my name on, I'm just doing X and YouTube and just sharing like daily videos of just what we're building, where we're at, daily updates on cash, like ideally being able to be like, hey, we did 20 grand, we're burning money. And then ideally I'll be able to make videos and we're like, hey, we did 300 grand yesterday and that's our new daily average. So maybe we'll see.
What's kind of your end goal with that? Or do you have one?
Yeah, I don't really know. I have a huge, the end goal was where I'm at. I just got there way quicker. That was as far as I could see within it. It was like, I want 3,000 to 5,000 basically on all the platforms that are just high quality business owner online and doing numbers. And then I can so I can get talent, opportunity, and just like have friends that when I go places I can network or like be places that I have people. And now I have hundreds of people in my DMs. I posted for a sales manager because we're helping ours again, like start his own thing. And then we're trying to replace because like where his mind's at. And like, you know, we need someone who's fully bought in to take us to 5X the company. And if he wants to go do a solo thing, like go do a solo thing. Like, but we need someone in there. So I posted about it and I had some guy hit me. He's like, oh, we did 30 million in info last year too. And I know the guy and I have 100 DMs from other people. Then this guy has like, it sets me up in a text group chat. I got a call with him right after this in 30 minutes and he has done like 4 times our numbers exactly in our space, exactly in our like, so it's like 50 job applicants from one post. Like that's the goal. That was the goal. It's like, if I need talent, I can find talent. If I need a media buyer, I can find a media buyer. If I want an opportunity to like get a rev share and like consult, like maybe that's in the future or like equity deals, you know, Hormozy's thing is basically that just at this massive scale. And he is 500 times smarter than me and has 5,000 times more experience. But that's his play. It's like a ton of attention, funnels down, teaches the beginners through school, and then teach it. And then, you know, anyone who has a business can come in and he'll take equity position, grow it, and then they'll flip it. And like, he just does a big scale. I'm like, I'm just trying to like make some friends to start and then go from there. But
well, it sounds like you're doing great, man. It sounds like the plan's working.
It's working. It's working. I just kind of need to think I need to evolve the end game. So there's a carrot out there. So I keep making them every day. I'm like 45 days into making one every day.
Dude, that's amazing, man. Okay. Last question. Out of all those books back there, which one do you think you've read the most?
The most?
The time and time again, or like one that like stood out to you a lot? I'm assuming if it stood out to you, you've read it multiple times. So
the most recent one is the Andrew Wilkinson one that's right there. So Never Enough. Andrew Wilkinson, he owns Tiny. He is on My First Million podcast a couple times, and he is just a savage. Like he lives like the lean lifestyle. He built up a big agency. Then they started buying companies like online, you know, kind of boring businesses, but not. And they have scaled it to billions. And he's just like cool. He's just like, it gets a vibe that it's like very similar to us. So that one, that's kind of new. That's like a year or two old, I think. And then I have to say it just because it's funny, but Psycho Cybernetics was initially when I started reading like the joke of my earliness was like, I just read all this stuff and had like all this excitement and like good energy and all this stuff. And I had 0 skills. So I was just like, I'm going to crush it. And like ego and whatever. And like, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't like convert anything. I didn't even know what to do, but I had all those like original books. So like your Think and Grow Rich, your Psycho Cybernetic, your like, you know, Zig Zig, like all that. And I have read that book more times than I can count. I have poured more drinks on it in my backpack, spilled it, bought new ones. Like I have just over and over. And that book is what I said was my favorite book in the application of when I got on the phone with the co-founder of this company. And we got on the phone and he was like, oh, that's my favorite book too. And it was like, that was the thing. So like, it's just kind of like the full circle moment with that book that I've definitely read that one the most. And I have
That's amazing.
So
I've started to get more into those books as of late. Cause I feel like there was a time in the beginning where I was like, oh, I need this. And I was hyped up, had no skill, like you were saying, you know, and then I kind of got the skills, got deep into the weeds, and now I need more hype up.
Yeah. You know? Dude, I'm like that right now. I say that like all the time. I'm like, I did a podcast with Adam 2 days ago from Ringba, and he was like, he said a really good thing that was like the psychology and all that kind of stuff is in those. And that's super like just real. Like there's tried and true stuff I feel like that are in books, but like any of this new age skill oriented, like skilled style stuff, it's online. It's like stuff is changing so quick, and like the AI this or the scaling or the media buying, like you're not gonna read a book for that. But what is always gonna like stay there is like the mental, the psychology, the structural stuff is there.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is best. I like it way more in a book than like on an iPad or Audible
Same.
or just like flipping
Dude, I
through
still use like a notepad and everything too. I can't organize stuff on computer. It just like I guess one out the other, I guess to say, like it doesn't mean shit to me when it's on a screen, but if it's a notepad that's right beside me, like I even have my goals in front of me, all that all the time, just so it's like in my face. So
I do mine on a Notion, and I delete it when I'm done with the task, and it just feels like I never get anything done. It's like it's not checked off. I can't see my progress, like nothing. It's just like there's constantly a list to do, and it's like I need to go to physical. I do keep sticky notes.
I have a blue highlighter. Every time it's done, I highlight it. So it's like when one of my pages is like all blue, it's like, oh, you did some shit with your day.
Yeah. I use black sticky notes and pink ones.
I like it.
And I
that
literally,
looks cool.
I'll keep 2 goals on there. And then I have 1 statement. And my current statement for the last few months is I put every one is someone. And I need to remind myself of that like every day, because we'll look and I'll be like, oh, there's 150 on day, like 30 of these %, 20 of these, like new clients cash. I'm like, that's 150 people that booked a phone call with us that are going to have a 45-minute call that are like fully expecting to like make this transformation. And like, it's crazy because if you just look at the numbers or like media buying, how many clicks did you get today? You're like, oh, 912. It's like 912 people clicked on your ad, each one of them in a different place and space and whatever to go through. And like, sometimes you got to like zoom out a little and then zoom back in, because it's it's important. It's important to see. So
I got a quote too, and I'll share it just for the sake of sharing. And it says, "What would this look like if it was easy?" So, there you go.
The Adam one, that was a bunch of gold. He's a really smart guy. And he was saying some crazy stuff about that. That was like, scaling and there's only one thing you can do if you want to go to 50 million, but there's 10 things you can do if you want to go 50% bigger. So
that guy's intelligent. That guy is
intelligent. He's intelligent.
Smart dude. It's rare you can tell people and call people intelligent these days too,
Bro, he rolled up he like hit me on X because of some Connect thing. And then we get on this call and he's sitting there and he's in a robe, like open like this, a montage robe. And he's like, I'm in my fake penthouse at the montage and I'm in my robe right now. And he's just going off. Like he's talking about increasing the entire market size because they have so much market share that he needs to grow the size of the market in order to get bigger. Instead of like, that's like me saying like, oh, I'm going to grow the fitness like the people who need fitness market instead of grow my business within the fitness market. He's like, no, I need to build the pay-per-call entire industry. That's the whole book, pay-per-call, whatever book. The pay-per-call revolution. That's for like the buyer side or the not buyer side, but the, like media buying side. And then the other side, he's like, I need to grow that next, like the vendor side.
Just that thought process is so beyond.
Yeah.
Like I've never thought about like, you know what, I need to make this market bigger.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, he's like, how do I get more small businesses to understand that they can buy leads? And then how do I build a system that it's easier for them to buy leads? Because the guy who only needs, 15 calls a day at the local landscape thing, like how does that look from corporate to like, and how do you educate and then build stuff for that market that doesn't even know it exists yet?
Dude, I love it.
He's smart, man. But I'll stop yapping.
Yeah. Well, thanks again. I'll include the links to your YouTube and your X below for people to find you. And yeah, man, I really appreciate it. I'd like to thank Tyler for showing up for 10 minutes.
No, that was good. Yeah.
He was there.
Thank you, Tyler.
He still exists. He's still alive. That's great.
Yep.
But yeah, as we called it, he took some time to get here. But he made it. I'll give him props for that.
He did. He showed up, which is good cops.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, cool.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Bye.